Is the I am not enough wound keeping you from your manifestations? Let's talk about it. In today's video, we are going to talk about the I am not enough wound and how it might be interfering with you aligning in the reality of having the things that you desire.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, cause you choose your fate.
By the end of this video, I intend that you have a shift, a healing shift, a profound shift into yourself where you can see the value of who you are. Your value doesn't come from somebody else deciding it. Your value must come from you. Nobody else can decide your value but you. And if you are somebody that is handing over that power and placing it in the hands of others, you will only ever experience a life filled with you trying to prove your worth to somebody else, prove your worth to this world. I hope that after this video today, that will end, because you deserve to live a life fulfilled. You deserve to live a life knowing your value, walking around with confidence and believing yourself. And only when you know your value and worth, your reality, people, places, and things have to rearrange themselves to align where you see yourself. Hi guys, my name is Misha. If you're new here, welcome. It is Feels with Mish. We talk about feelings, understanding your feelings, mastering your feelings to be the best version of yourself. If you are on a law of assumption journey, you have woken up to this law of assumption and you are on this journey to manifesting the life of your dreams, I hope that you get something very valuable from this video. So first of all, let me say, you are enough. Right here, right now, you listening, without even doing anything, you breathing the air, just existing, your presence is enough. You are enough. You do not have to try to prove that value or that worth. You do not have to try to be more or to have more or to look a certain type of way. You do not have to have achieved anything to be enough. Because right now, with all that you are, all that you come with, is enough. There are forces greater than your birth parents that wanted you to be here, that worked for you to be here. And that enough is the evidence. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to feel. And you see, most of us go our life not believing we're enough. It's a story. Something happened in our life. Something very specific to you in your life that you attach the meaning that I am not enough to. And you have more than likely gone your entire life with this feeling, with this belief of not being good enough. And when we have the belief of I am not enough, we live in this world where we feel like we need to prove ourselves to others. We need to have this and then maybe I'm enough, or have this job or have this money or look this certain type of way. Or if I didn't have this, or if I didn't say that, or if I didn't do this or do that, maybe they would like me, or right? We're just always placing ourselves in this position where everything has power over you. Everything has a say of whether you are valuable or not. And you believe into those moments. You believe into those words. You believe into what other people tell you about yourself more than what you just know about yourself to be that you are enough just as you are. You don't have to do anything to be enough because you are right now. And if you are somebody that has that belief, that I'm not enough belief, today we are going to shift it. You're going to shift it. You are going to move from that belief. You are going to start seeing the world differently. You're going to become the version of you, or begin the journey to becoming that version of you that sees the value that you have. Nobody can do that for you again. This is a journey of the self. It is a solo journey. Nobody can tell you your value and worth, because you see, if you don't believe that you're valuable, if you don't know your worth, if you don't feel like you're enough, nobody could come into your life and say, hey, you're enough, you're valuable, you're amazing. And you're going to believe that because it doesn't align with where your beliefs are of yourself. Say they're telling you you're enough, you're worthy, you're valuable, and those beliefs are up here. That person's putting you up here. If you believe that you're down here, those two spaces, they simply don't align. You will not believe that person, right? It might feel good for a second, them coming in and telling you all these things about yourself, right? It might feel good for a second, instant gratification, but that soon goes away because it doesn't actually align with the belief that you hold of yourself. And so this is why manifestations for very specific things might seem difficult for you to obtain or to bring into your reality, because they simply don't align with who you believe you are. The version of you that has that which you desire knows the value of themselves in having those things. They don't even have to think about it. It just aligns where they are and the beliefs of themselves. But you see, if you have this wound, this I am not enough wound, we're always going to put those things above us on a pedestal. Those things will always seem out of reach, because where you align within yourself is that I am not good enough. I have to do more to have those things. And you see, that puts that thing outside of your reality. So if you are somebody that doesn't ever feel chosen, you get in these relationships and people leave and choose somebody else, or they always leave. You have these stories, these negative things attached. You never get the job. Nothing ever works out for you, right? Where do these stories come from? It's very specific to you. Very, very specific to you. The belief of I am not enough, where it comes from, and who you believe that you are is very specific. It all started somewhere. And we have to understand who we have been in our life that has allowed us to show up, putting things above us, putting things before us, and putting ourselves just really low on the list of importance, right? Maybe you don't even recognize your importance at all. And so this video today is important for you because it is here to mirror to you how you really feel about yourself and who you really believe that you are. And then we can change that. You might be going in circles in your life, in your relationships, or in your work environment, or in your financial environments, relationships, friendships, family, right? You might just find yourself going in circles over and over and over again. And I'll give you an example of this, right? This is how the I am not enough wound shows up. So you meet somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, this person makes me feel so good, right? Instant gratification. Instantly you feel great. And you get into this relationship or this situationship where it never really gets further than you want, and all your fears come up, all the I am not enough wounds come up. This person doesn't ever choose me. Their importance of other things is above me, right? The stories that you have in your mind of them, start to recognize those stories, because that's the very reason that you're not manifesting these things, and it's those stories. And then that person ends up leaving, or you have a blowout and you go your separate ways for a moment, right? And when you're apart from them, there's still this attachment there. But you decide, oh, I'm going to work on myself, right? So you go to the gym and you work your ass off in the gym. Or you get a new job and you just bury yourself in work and you build in your career, or you build in your work, right? Or, you get an appearance change, right? Like I said, maybe you lose weight, or you do something to your hair, you buy a whole new wardrobe, right? So the physical aspects of your life have changed dramatically, and it makes you feel good. But changing those parts of yourself Do not change the belief that you still don't feel like you're good enough. Because that belief is buried deep within you and it comes from something in your past. And so you work so hard on yourself to physically change your reality, and this person comes back or another person comes in, new relationship starts, and the same thing repeats again. You go through the same thing because all your fears come up again. The belief I am not enough is loud and clear within that relationship, and then again you break up or it blows apart, or that person chooses somebody else, or they disappear. This is a cycle that you have to be aware of your life. There is a reason why we go through these cycles, right? Because no matter how much we work on our physical appearance, no matter how much our bank account changes, our career changes, if we have yet to go within and work on the belief of who we believe we are, our reality, our world, our relationships, money, career, all of it has to show up in reflection to who we believe we are. And like I said, things might look great from the beginning, but if we haven't changed those beliefs, things will eventually again unravel. And it isn't until we change the beliefs of who we believe we are, we pour into ourselves, we start to see the value that we have. We start to place ourselves on the pedestal. We start to love and value and cherish ourselves and really recognize who you are showing up in people's lives, and that being the gift and the blessing, in that you do not have to do anything or be anything to be enough, because just the very presence of you is enough. Until you realize that, you will continue on the merry-go-round in your life with situations, people, places, and things. And there's very specific patterns that we have. And so it's time for you to do a little homework, look back on your life and kind of see the patterns of yourself in your life. And in relation to the things in your life, there's going to be very specific patterns. And again, if it's the I am not enough wound, you're going to see these patterns very clearly. So when these relationships go sour, or you have a bully boss at work, and that was a pattern of mine. I always continued to have really terrible work bosses that bullied me and singled me out and made me feel terrible. That was a story. Again, all of it is a story, right? And the story, we make it about ourselves. So when going back in your life and looking at the patterns and the things that you continue to re-experience, maybe in the same person, maybe in the same situations, but different people, right? Recognize the stories that are attached to those things. And a lot of the times we make the story about ourselves negatively. So what was the story that you created in those moments? Yes, there might be an F that person and they were so terrible to me, but underneath that story in the subconscious of your mind is the story, people always leave me. I'm never chosen. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty. I'm fat. I'm gross. I'm ugly. I'm always abandoned. People always leave me. And you have to recognize that story that you're attaching in any moment. And you can even, now that you're becoming aware from this video here, you're waking up to yourself. You're waking up to your brilliant mind. You're starting to recognize these stories. Now you'll be able to see yourself in every moment of your life and really hear the story that you're attaching to those things and the negative things that we're saying about ourselves in those moments. We have to change this story. And this is how we go from I am not enough to I am enough. Is we start to change that story. We start to make it positive. We start to make it positive about ourselves. We start to make it positive about other people even, right? This is something that I'm working on right now myself. And instead of the victim story of, oh my God, I'm never chosen, I'm never good enough, that's the I am not enough wound. The story starts to look like, oh, that person not choosing me or that person not wanting to be with me has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. Maybe they're going through something in their life, and that's just, I have nothing to do with that. Maybe they just need some time, but that has nothing to do with me. If that person doesn't want to be with me, that doesn't diminish my value. No. That I know who I am. I know what I bring. And if that person doesn't want a life with me, then that's okay, right? That's okay. That has nothing to do with me. That doesn't diminish my value. You see the comparison? The I am enough. I am more than enough. I'm a gift and a blessing. Compared to the, oh, that person doesn't want me. Maybe if I did something or said something, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe if I did this, change this about myself, maybe they'll like me. Do you see the difference there? And some of you are sitting in the I am not enough, and that's okay, because today we are going to change that, and we're going to move into a new space within ourselves, and we're going to be the I am enough. We're going to recognize our value. We're going to recognize our worth, and we're going to do it together today. To value ourselves it's quiet. It's not loud. It is shown in the actions towards ourselves that we take, right? The action towards ourselves, the words that we pour into ourselves, the nurturing that we give ourselves, right? Valuing ourselves is an example that we set for others. It's with our boundaries. It's with how we're showing up in the world. It's with our energy. And we have to change our mind from trying to be outward towards others, giving, showing up, providing for, doing for, and start to turn that into ourselves, recognizing that all of that energy that's going out there needs to come here first. And maybe you've never ever experienced going here first, but this is how we raise from the I am not enough to the I am enough, is we start to give, pour, pursue, commit to ourselves first. And when we do this, only when we do this, the world mirrors that energy back to us. And you got to know that doing this authentically for yourself first, and doing this because you want to get something inauthentically, energy doesn't lie, right? God, universe, higher power, Allah, whomever you believe in, is beyond. And so the intention of what we do is everything. Do this for yourself. Put yourself on the pedestal. The you that is on the pedestal prioritizes themselves first, right? The I am enough prioritizes themselves first. And it is through your actions, it's through your affirmations, the words that you pour into yourself, telling yourself, I love myself. I'm truly amazing. Like, I'm such a gift and a blessing, right? When you can stand outside of yourself and start to view how you show up in relationships. You show up so hard in relationships, trying to prove to others. But when it comes to you, you don't show up the same way. And so we have to change that, right? The I am not enough wound is that version of you showing up for others first. The I am enough is the version of you that shows up for themselves first. And I want you to take this time and write in the comments. I want you to write 3 things that you think are so special about yourself, because this is where we start this I am enough journey. We have to recognize the things that we value and like about ourselves, right? I'm going to name 3 things about myself right now. I think I'm hilarious. Like, if you hang out with me in person, you get to spend time with me in person. I'm just a silly goofy weirdo, and I love to make people laugh, and I know that I do that very well. So that's one thing that I love about myself. Another thing I love about myself is that I'm very smart. I'm very intuitive. I can pick up on things that most people can't pick up on. And it's just this deep knowing that I have. And I believe that that is such a gift, and I honor that. And that is something very special about me. Another thing that's special about me is my ability to make other people feel special. That's my compassion. That's my empathy. That's my ability to get down on a level or up on a level wherever somebody is, meet them where they are, and really just connect with them. I know that that is a gift, and I value and cherish that about myself. And so I want you to write 3 things that you love about yourself, that you really value about yourself, that you know make you special. Because if you can't name 3, it's totally fine, because this is why you're watching this video. Because if you can't name 3 things that you value about yourself or that make you special or unique, then you're in the I am not enough. And it's okay, because you're going to work on this and you're going to be in the I am enough. And again, the I am enough knows what they bring to the table. And honey, you bring the whole table, right? The I am enough knows the value that they have and stands confidently in that value and knowing of themselves, right? And so if you can't name 3 things that are special about you, let me tell you this right now. You coming to this earth, planet Earth, you coming into this experience makes you special. There is nobody like you in this entire world. There is one of you, only one of you, and that alone makes you special. There is a whole story of your life that you've experienced that makes you special. Nobody has lived your life. Nobody has your brain. Nobody sees through your eyes that makes you special. There's very specific things about you that you have to really see, begin to see, that make you so unique and so special. Every single person here has many things about them that make them special. And so this is the work that you must do to go from the I am not enough to the I am enough. It is to start recognizing the things about yourself that you love, that you can praise, that you cherish, right? And maybe you don't right now, and that's again okay, because you're going to work on this. Start small if you have to. I love my hands, right? It could be as small as that. I love my hands. Okay, today I love my hands. I have the prettiest hands. I mean, I don't really think my hands are that great, but it could be you, whatever. I love my toe. I love my big toe, right? Something, whatever. It's so specific to you. I love my birthmarks. I think they're beautiful. I love my birthmarks. But instead of just naming the physical things about yourself, I really want you to recognize the characteristics of you that make you unique, that bring joy to others and for yourself. Start to see those things. Start to praise those things, value and cherish those things. This is how we're healing the I am not enough. And we are coming up into that space where we know that we are enough. We start to see ourselves differently. We start to pour into ourselves and recognize the value that we have. And then you are putting yourself on the pedestal. You're recognizing that you do not have to do anything. I'm going to say this again. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try. You don't have to have more, be more, change the way you look, lose weight. You don't have to do none of that. You just existing right now, breathing this very air, is the evidence that you are enough. If you haven't ever recognized the things that make you special, it's okay, because today you're going to start that journey. And you got to understand something. It might feel uncomfortable at first, because if you've never praised yourself, you've never seen yourself, you've never valued yourself, you've never looked at yourself in this light before, it will feel uncomfortable because it is something that is unfamiliar to you, right? All you've ever known is the I am not enough. And when you're moving up to the I am enough, it will feel uncomfortable. Keep going. Persist through the uncomfort, because at some point you will shift into this space where it's just effortless. You don't even have to try. And so from here, when you heal this part of yourself, when you start to see yourself differently, you start to believe in the version of you that can have the life that you desire. You start to believe in the version of you that has the relationship, the career, the money, the luxury, whatever it is that you desire. You start to believe in that version because you know that you are enough and that you deserve to have those things. The I am not enough version of you doesn't align in the life that you desire. And so continue to persist through this work, this healing and self-mastery work, because there will be a shift one day that you have where you just align in the belief of yourself. You know who you are. You know what you bring to the table. You know your value. And when you believe this of yourself, you also know that the life of your dreams is yours to have, that you can have it. If you liked today's video and you would like to book a personal one-on-one session with me for healing and self-mastery work, you can email me, feelswithmish@gmail.com. All of the information is in the description box below. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful, positive day because you absolutely deserve it.
Try and explain it to the blind. May you wake up from inside. See the truth through the third eye. Let your heart be your guide. Light up the way. Let your heart be your guide. Free from your pain, it ain't a mistake, 'cause you choose your